What's up, piano players? I've received so many amazing comments from most of you on this channel, and you've all said you really like the fails series that have been going on. So I decided today to do a quick lesson where I show you a few of my fails I use on specific chords. All right, so if you're ready for this lesson, let's get right into it. Right, so what kind of melodies can we use to connect chords? Now, basically, you have several of the things that we've already spoken about on this channel, where I have spoken about using targeting the third. It's a very nice way of adding a melody to a chord or approaching a chord with a melody. Now, this means that if, for example, you want to play a simple C major chord, you could always go like target the third of the C major, which is the E, or go, right? So if you're not familiar with this, you could check my other videos in this series. All right, I'll create a playlist with all the add-in fills, and you can check that playlist out. Okay, so now basically I just want to give you a few of the fills that I use most of the time, okay, to connect a simple song. And I'm going to use a simple Christian song, What a Beautiful Name It Is. All right, the chord progression is I'm taking it in the key of C. So the chord progression is a 1, a C, to a G, to an A minor, then G, and F. Very simple chord progression. So what a beautiful name it is, right? Right? Okay, so I'm sure most of you know this song, but if you don't know it, you're not familiar with gospel or Christian songs, that's fine. Just follow with this chord progression, and this can be applied to any situation you find yourself in. All right, so in this case, let's say I play the C chord, and then moving to the G. Now, how many options or melodies do I have? Well, most of the time, what I'll be doing is trying to come up with some kind of beautiful melody to lead me to the chord. Okay, so, and most of the time I'll be targeting either the third or the fifth. Okay, so that's your trick. You can create so many melodies, as many melodies as you want. So the third, so this is the chord, right? This is the 1, the 3, and the 5. So I can create a melody that targets the third or the fifth. Okay, so let's try a melody that targets the third. So I can go like so this is one you might want to take. So I go this way, targeting the third. I go one step above and do a little, and go a little faster, and much faster. So if I play the first 2 chords of this chord progression, it's going to sound like this. So right, so by just using this simple melody, your chord progression has moved from now, don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with playing like this. There are instances where you want to play like this. For example, when the song is now starting up, you don't want to confuse things so much. You want to play simple. But there are certain points where you want to add in a few melodies here, and then this is what we are talking about, right? So now it's going to sound like this. Right? So that's one option for the G chord, right? Now, what you should know is this G chord is a major chord. So that means that you can do the same thing on the C as well. I'm going to talk about, take another lesson where I talk about thinking in different keys. But if I'm able to do this, target my third, then when I get to the C as well, I can do It's the same thing, right? It looks exactly the same. You play like 4-5, 4-3, something like that. So this is the chord. This is the 3. This is the 4-5. So like 4-5, 4-3, right? All right. Then I could actually do. I can target the 5th instead of the G chord, right? So if I target the 5th, I can do a melody, similar melody like this. Okay. Or you could even go. Okay. So let's try that as well and see. So okay, good. Now, so we are already getting some melodies, right? So we have 2 options. Or same chord, targeting 3rd and 5th. Good. So now let's 2 options. That's fine. We'll get more options later on. Now let's try the 6th chord, the A minor. Okay. We already know the simple way of targeting the 3rd, where you go. So if you're not familiar with that already, this is one option. You play 1, 2, and then you play the minor chord. Okay. But what I like to do is to play this minor chord a bit inverted, right? So instead of playing the minor chord like this, I invert it down and run this kind of melody, right? 5, 1, 2, 3 over the A minor itself. So and my left hand is doing some kind of pattern. This is 1-5-2 or 1-5-3 or 1-5-1. Okay, left hand patterns. Okay, so I like to use this this melody quite a lot when I'm playing on minor chords. So you can even do it on like a D minor, which is like a 2 chord. Okay, so yeah, so let's try okay, so what I did there was I played the 1-2-5 feel of the previous chord, and this is also part of my series. I've already talked about this, but I'm just bringing everything together, right, in context of a song. And this is in response to again one comment saying, can we put all these feels together in the context of a song? So yeah, here you go. So what a beautiful name it is, right? Good. So I'm going to give you this feel as well. You've probably heard me play it a few times. So whenever I'm moving to a 1, I like to go with this melody, which is like a 4-3-2-1. Then you play the 3. Or in other circles, you say fa mi re do mi. So fa mi re do mi. You do a run from the 4-3-2-1. Then you do this grace note on the 3rd here. It's very important, right? Or you can just keep that since we are low, right? So when we start from the 6. Hear how I play that? I leave everything else and go. Simple thing sounds amazing, right? Sorry if this lesson is a bit long, but so many things to talk about. I pretty much could not cram everything all in one lesson, so I might do some other lessons later on. So on the F as well, we can do and that's the 3rd. I'm targeting the 3rd of the F chord, so I can do a similar thing I did on the targeting the the G chord and C chord. I'm always targeting the third. Now for the F, I'm doing. So let's put all of it in context. I'm going to go very slow. I'm playing just the chords and the Lincoln melody. I'm not going to play the melody of the song. So follow me slowly. You might want to maybe pause and pick a few things here and there. All right. So I'll play it slow and then maybe medium tempo. So. Okay, so a few things there might have sounded a little fast, but I can try to remember a few and maybe break it down. So one move I used when I was moving from the C to the G was and then I played this. Okay, so all I was doing there was targeting the fifth of the G chord, and I was using this melody, mi fa so fa mi re, targeting the re, or 3 4 5 3, what 3 4 5 4 3 2. Okay, so that's a way of just leading me to the 2. Okay, so but I play something like, I just keep this 5 at the bottom, so start something with like sort of like on a C chord, because I'm on C chord already, right? So I go, so ba da, then you just keep in this one at the bottom pretty much. Okay, and I'm landing on this sus2 chord or major, that's fine. All right, so so like that. All right, in order not to make this lesson too long, I'm gonna stop now, and then I'm gonna post the part 2 to this lesson, fill in your chords with melodies. So just take these few that we have, talked about in this lesson. Try and practice the few fills on the G chord and the 6th chord, and in the next part we'll just look a little bit more into it and maybe think about it in a few other keys. So thank you for joining me in this lesson, and I'll see you in the next one.